let's just briefly discuss your journey with InvoZone. So how did you hear about us?
We met on LinkedIn in InvoZone, and the reason is we have a couple development teams already, one for design, one for smart contracts, and we were looking for front end, back end development team. So InvoZone was one of the, I think, 8 development teams that we talked to. We engaged with, requested quotes, and InvoZone was definitely our best bet, and due to our lead engineering being very local to the development team, which we thought was very positive, as you know, they can stop by when needed much quicker than having somebody on the other side of the world. So that was the main factor of us going with InvoZone. Besides that, it's a great team. It's a large team. They're very active, and communication is going great. So yeah, it showed right from the bat that InvoZone was the best partner to go with for this development aspect, for sure.
Perfect. Absolutely. And as you mentioned, you were evaluating other vendors as well at that point. So what factors led you to choose InvoZone? Because you did mention that we are managing the larger chunk of your application. So what made you choose InvoZone?
So there's different factors where we look at, and usually we only do 3 codes, but because the development aspect is such a large thing in the scope of the project, we requested 8. So where we looked at different things. So the timeline, planning, when we can expect modules. Now InvoZone has a large team, so they were able to put more hands on it, and it could reduce the lead times on the project. So that was a big one. And of course, and it's just going to be honest here, is InvoZone, just pricing wise, they're good. They're very good. They're very competitive versus the European. We're located in Europe versus the European market. It's basically a no-brainer to go with InvoZone in this case, just to reduce cost and reduce lead times, for sure.
And one more thing that you mentioned, like you decided to take a modular approach for developing and launching your MVP. So instead of waiting for 1 whole year or 6 months to actually, wait for the development to complete, you took a modular approach, and as the modules were launching, you started onboarding users. So this is what we call as a very aggressive agile development lifecycle that you opted for. So how well was InvoZone able to support you in this phase?
Very well, and most importantly is I believe it's the best way to do it, to implement modular approach, mainly because you prevent too much. You prevent, if there's issues, that the capacity is fully related on problem solving instead of making progress in general. If there's issues and there's too many modules live, it might be too much to handle. And in this case, they're handling fine. There's very minor issues because we go through a good process of quality checking, but there's always issues. So if you go with a larger approach, with implementing everything at the same time, I think it will be difficult, even for InvoZone, even if they have the capacity to do so. But they're handling this perfectly. This is great. There's a straight planning. There's a clear scope and priorities, and they're implementing everything according to schedule, so it's perfect.
Perfect, absolutely. And how do you foresee your future collaboration with InvoZone as your development partner?
Well, as we will be our roadmap goes into the end of 2025 with development aspects as well. I mentioned the invest modules. The invest module might be a separate platform. We're still debating, because it doesn't touch as much in relation with the other modules do. So there is a long-term partnership here and a long-term development scope on the table that we can work on together for years.
Perfect, absolutely. Thank you so much for your kind words. And once again, we are all rooting for Cryptool's success, and we just can't wait to see it make an impact in the market.
Thank you very much.